Association, International Association of Hydrological Sciences, Indian Water Resources Society, and Indian Society for Hydraulics. He is also member of Hydrological Data Users Group. He is reviewer of International Journal of Civil Engineering Springer. He is also reviewer of Journal of the Institution of Engineers Series A. Uh, he was also reviewer of Third International Conference on Recent Trends in Engineering and Technology, presented by Elsevier and held at SNJB's College of Engineering, Nevinagar. He has total 19 publications under his name. He also has one granted and 3 published patents under his name. So I welcome Dr. Anil Parlikar sir to share his knowledge and work with us.
Thank you, Kusaya. Now I request Parikar sir to take over the chair.
Good afternoon, everybody. First of all, I would like to thank to the organizing committee for this FDP, AICTE QIP Faculty Development Program, Recent Trends in Water Engineering. I am thankful to Dr. M.L. Vaikar sir, Dr. Aditya Nilawar sir, the coordinator of this FDP. I am also thankful to the complete organizing committee for giving me this chance to interact with all of you. So this is the last session on the last day. So I think I will try to do my best at my level. Shall I present my presentation now?
Yes, sir. Sure, sir. Sure, sir.
Yeah. I think this is visible to all of you.
Yes, sir.
Is it okay now?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Welcome all of you for this session of AICTE QIP short-term course on the recent trends in water engineering. And I am going to discuss about some basic fundamentals of genetic algorithm and its application for specific region in the civil engineering, that is the reservoir release optimization. How water is important. So I will just quote 2 sentences by 2 well-known persons, rather personalities. One is a noted historian, Sir Charles Trevelyan, who opined that water is more valuable than land because when water is applied to land, it increases its productiveness at least 6-fold and renders great extents of land productive, which otherwise would produce nothing. It means that the land will be of no value in absence of water. When water is introduced for the land, definitely the value of the land will be increased. Another important quote is given by John Kennedy, who was 35th President of United States of America. He stated that anybody who can solve the problems of water will be worthy of 2 Nobel Prizes, one for peace and one for science. So this sentence itself gives the importance of water. So before going into the details of genetic algorithm, we are all familiar with the search techniques which we generally use for our research work or our any other work which is related with the searching of different parameters. The search techniques are divided in 3 categories, mainly 3 categories: calculus-based technique, then guided random search technique, and enumerative technique. In the guided random search technique, one class of this technique is the evolutionary algorithm. And this evolutionary algorithm consists of two subclasses: evolutionary strategies and genetic algorithms. So this is the technique, genetic algorithm, which we are going to discuss in this session. For this purpose, we will start with the Charles Darwin statement. This is basically from the biology which we have studied in our school ages. Charles Darwin stated that it is not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent, but the one most responsive to change. This statement indicates that the person who is changing himself or herself as per the conditions uh, which he or she is facing, definitely he will survive. So this is the basic concept of applying the genetic algorithm also. Therefore, Charles Darwin, I think he should be given due weightage for the study of genetic algorithms. Now we know that in our biological studies, we have studied that there are more number of individuals born than can survive. So there is a continuous struggle for life. Now this struggle starts from the baby when he starts uh, developing. From that instant only the struggle for life starts. And in this struggle, only those individuals will be survived who are having some advantage over the others. So that is known as the survival of the fittest, which is given by the best Darwinian principle. The figure shows that in the past, when giraffes were uh, thinking to have some for eating or their uh, survival, only few of them will be able to do this. But when the condition continued like that only, others also develop themselves, so that in present situation we find that more number of giraffes, they are getting their foods which are at quite high height. So only those individuals will get the food who have changed or who have got changed in their uh, structure, biological structures. So that is nothing but the survival of the fittest. Before going into details of genetic algorithm, how it is different from traditional search methods, that we should know. Genetic algorithms work with the coding of the parameter set and not on the parameter themselves. This is the basic difference. Then genetic algorithms search from a population of points and not a single point, which we generally observe in traditional search methods, that we start with a single point and then we progress towards the optimal situation. But in GS, the situation is different. We are starting the searching from a population of probable solutions, and after the evolution in the complete process, we will get a optimal solution. Then GS use payoff information, not the derivatives or auxiliary knowledge. And the last is the GS use probabilistic transition rules and not the deterministic rules, which we generally observe in the traditional search methods. What is the genetic algorithm? It is a very powerful tool which allows searching for solutions when there are no other feasible means to do so. Means when a number of possible solutions are there, in that case we go for any of the available techniques. But when this situation is not there, then in that case also genetic algorithm will work. The genetic algorithm is easy to produce and simple to understand and enhancements are easily introduced. This is the beauty of the genetic algorithm, that it is very easy to produce and simple to understand. The concept of the genetic algorithm is simple to understand. Those who are having biological background, they will definitely come to know what is going to happen. Now, therefore, the genetic algorithm is having much flexibility. Okay, in the 1970, James Holland introduced genetic algorithm. This was the first instance when the genetic algorithm was introduced in the science community. Then this Holland's original genetic algorithm, which was in the very primary stage, it is now known as the simple genetic algorithm. But D.E. Goldberg in 1989 described GA as a stochastic numerical search method based on natural genetics and natural selection. That is nothing but the Darwin's principle. So when we study the nature and the analogous parts or analogous concepts are implemented in the computer language, some analogy is found there. In the nature, we say the population of species. Similarly, in case of computer, it is the set of solutions. In nature, it is individual, which is analogous to solution to a problem in the computer language. When the fitness is considered in the nature, it is nothing but the quality of a solution. Then chromosome, which is present in nature, it is equal to the encoding for a solution. Then the part of the chromosome is the gene, and this is nothing but the part of the encoding solution in the computer language. While in nature, the biological reproduction process is there, and that is analogous to the crossover function in computer language. So what is the evolution? We know organisms like animals or plants, they produce a number of offsprings which are almost themselves, but they are not entirely like themselves. Okay, a number of persons will be seen in our surroundings that the children are very similar to their parents, but they are not completely similar. They are having some certain differences. What these differences are coming from? These are nothing but the differences due to the evolution. And the genes which are carried by generation, these are appearing in one specific generation, and finally that particular person or individual will be different from his earlier generation. Some of these offsprings may survive to produce offspring of their own, but by bad luck, some won't be able to survive. So the better adapted offsprings are more likely to survive. This is the fundamental of the Darwin's principle. Genetic algorithms use this process to evolve better programs. So this is the concept which genetic algorithm is using. Now GA is useful when the search space is very large or too complex for analytic treatment. When the search space is too large, then in that case, the traditional methods will be very difficult, rather time consuming to find out the optimum solution. But in those situations, GA is very advantageous and it will be beneficially used. But one more drawback of genetic algorithm is that it is not going to guarantee to find the global optimum. But an acceptably good solution can be found. Although we are not getting the global optimum using the genetic algorithm, but the situations when there are a large number of options available, from those, if we want to find the acceptably good or reasonably good solutions, then we can definitely go for genetic algorithm implementation. Genetic algorithms are robust and adaptive methods and successfully used for solving optimization problems. In the optimization problems, we generally consider the maximization and minimization problems. When the profit is to be maximized, then also we can use genetic algorithm, or when the losses are to be minimized, then definitely we can use genetic algorithms beneficially. The power of genetic algorithms arises from a simple assumption that the best solutions are more likely to be found in the regions of the solution space containing high proportions of good solutions. So this is the logic behind finding the best solution from the available solutions which GA is using. Now these regions can be located by sampling the entire solution randomly. The randomness is the nature which is generally observed in the application of genetic algorithm. Even though we are marching towards the getting the optimal solution, genetic algorithms simultaneously consider many points in the search space. It is, as we discussed, it is not starting from a single point, but it will start from a number of points in the search space. Now they have been found to provide a rapid convergence to a near optimum solution. The languages and softwares which are to be used or which can be helpful to study the genetic algorithm and their applications. We can go for using C, C++, Java, MATLAB or Python. MATLAB and Python, these are having inbuilt libraries of genetic algorithm. They are providing good libraries. Okay, when we discuss about the application of genetic algorithm in context of civil engineering studies, we can find that it is having a large number of applications in different basic areas of civil engineering. For the project management, we can go for resource allocation, resource leveling, precedent relationship problem in the project scheduling, and many more project management problems can be easily dealt with by using genetic algorithm. Likewise, in environmental engineering, the estimation of parameters to calibrate water quality model, then for activated sludge system, water distribution network design, all these can be very well studied and good results can be obtained by using genetic algorithm. Not even in environmental or project management, but we can go for structural design also. In structural design, the optimal design of steel structures, then reinforced concrete sections like beams, steel reinforcement, what should be the spacing of the reinforcement, what should be the spacing of stirrups, or how many number of stirrups should be introduced in the structure, that can also be given by using the genetic algorithm. In geotechnical engineering, for maximum dry density, then design of foundation, slope stability analysis, all these can be very well tackled by the genetic algorithm. The transportation engineering consists of the traffic flow problems, which are very difficult problems to be handled. Therefore, these can be very well addressed by using the genetic algorithm. In the same, we can use route optimization for the public transportation problem. In water resources engineering, which we are very much interested for today's session, they consist of the study of water distribution systems, hydrological modeling, watershed management, groundwater modeling, and the reservoir operation. All these streams, all these areas can be very well studied, can be very well get the application of genetic algorithm for their optimum finding. Before going into the details of genetic algorithm, let me give some GA terminologies. Okay, when I started the study of genetic algorithm some 10 years back, At that time, I wondered how this biologically uh, related concept of genetic algorithm can be solving the problems of civil engineering. But later on, I found that it is very well, uh, it can be used for the benefit of the uh, solving number of civil engineering problems. The JA terminology which are frequently used for the studies, they consist of chromosomes, genes, population, fitness function, selection, crossover, mutation, and generation. These 8 terms are very much essential to be understood for the complete study of genetic algorithm. Now let us consider a very simple optimization problem. This is the objective function which is having the maximization type of problem. It is a very simple problem, and in this case we are supposed to maximize one equation, that is a plus twice b plus 3c plus 4d minus 30. Now this equation can be maximized by using the genetic algorithm, but for application of genetic algorithm we are using the constraints or the decision variables which we are going to find out. Here the decision variables are a, b, c, and d. These 4 decision variables are nothing but the integers. This is the first constraint. Then each of them are having the maximum value, and above that that particular decision variable should not be placed. A should be less than or equal to 25, B should be less than or equal to 38, C should be less than or equal to 16, and D should be less than or equal to 69. So this is the condition that we are having the decision variables to be found out for the maximization of this objective function. By using genetic algorithm, a number of possible solutions, that is the values of A, B, C, and D, can be found out, which will give us the maximum value of the given equation. Okay. The chromosome, which is the basic of the study of genetic algorithm, which is also called as the genome. It is a set of parameters which define a proposed solution to the problem that the genetic algorithm is trying to solve. Let us consider, for a given problem, the solution comes out to be 1375. This is the final solution for the given problem. Then this is nothing but the chromosome. It will definitely represent the chromosome. Like that, we can have different types of chromosomes. Like for 457, 56, all these are the numbers which are nothing but the optimal values for the given problem. And they are the nothing but the chromosomes. Then the gene. A gene is a part of chromosome. It contains a part of the complete solution. If 1375 is the chromosome, then 1, 3, 7, and 5, these 4 digits, they are nothing but the genes. Like in the example for 1, 2, 3, if it is a chromosome, then 1, 2, and 3, these are the genes. Now the particular set of genes in genome is called as the genotype. Here, if 1, 2, 3 is a chromosome, this chromosome consists of only 3 digits or 3 numbers, 1, 2, and 3. If they are rearranged, then we will get different type of settings. But these are nothing but the genotypes. Here it will be 1, 2, 3 or 2, 1, 3 or 3, 1, 2. In this way, we can find out a number of genotypes for the given set of genes. The population is nothing but it is the number of chromosomes present in each generation. Let us consider for the genes 1, 2, and 3. We can prepare 4 chromosomes, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 3, 3, 1, 2, and 2, 3, 1. When all these 4 chromosomes are present in one particular generation, they are said to be the population. It means it is a population of 4 chromosomes. Then fitness, it is the value of an objective function for its phenotype. Okay, now for calculating the fitness of the chromosome, it has to be first decoded and the objective function has to be evaluated. So the fitness function is nothing but it is giving us the value which is obtained by the application of the chromosome, which consists of the genes. For different decision variables, these genes are representing the values, and when they are put in the objective function, we will get the fitness. The chromosomes could be either bit strings or real numbers. Generally, these two are very popular. That's why I am saying that the chromosomes could be either bit strings or real numbers. Bit strings consist of the 0 and 1, only these two numbers. But in real number, we can go for any real number which is applicable for the problem which is given to us. Now in the GA, the variables are represented as the string of numbers. Okay, the numbers which are there in a chromosome are the decision variables which are representing the solutions for the given problem. They are represented as string. If each decision variable or design variable is given a string of length L and there are n such variables, then the design vector will have a total string length of NL. So this will be the length of the chromosome. And for example, let us consider that 3 decision variables which are there for a given problem and the string length be 4 for each of the variable. Let us consider x1 is having the value of 4, x2 is having value of 7, and x3 is having a value of 1. They can be represented in binary digits at as 0, 1, 0, 0. This is for x1. For x2 it is 0, 1, 1, 1, and for x3 it will be 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1. So when all these are arranged and they are linked in a string, that is called as the concatenation, and they will form a chromosome length in binary format equal to 12. So the total length of this chromosome will be 12 bits, and the complete chromosome will be represented by 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1. So in this way the chromosome length can be decided. Now the basic building block in the genetic algorithm is a population of individuals, and each individual represents a possible solution of the problem without actually being the solution. So that will represent a possible solution only, but finally we will get a different solution. A collection of chromosomes is called as the population, and the population at a certain point of times is referred to as the generation. The generation of the initial population of strings is done in a random way. When we try to start the application of genetic algorithm at the very first stage, in the very first generation level, we don't have the any other types of other ways which can give us the population. So in that situation, we will go for the generation of this population in a random way. The basic operators which are applied on the genes in the chromosomes, they are crossover and mutation. They are trying to change the values of the chromosomes. How these are going to happen, we will see later on. This is the very standard flow chart for the application of genetic algorithm. So here we can see that the initial population is generated in the very first step, which is the starting step, and that is nothing but the randomly generated population. After this population is generated, it is encoded in the specific format either binary format or real coding we can use. After encoding, we are going to evaluate the fitness function. The objective function itself will be working as the fitness function. If that evaluation meets the optimization criteria, then we can stop there and we will get the best individuals as the final result. But if the optimization criteria is not met, then we have to apply 3 operators which are helping us to change the values of the chromosomes, and they are selection, crossover, and mutation. And once again they are evaluated for the fitness function, and this process will be continued till we get the best set of solutions. Okay, this is the process which we discussed just now, that in the first step, which is the starting step. In the second step, the fitness evaluation is done. In the third step, the population is operated by 3 main operators: selection, crossover, and mutation, to create a new population of points. In the fourth step, the replacement of the new population is done. Then in fifth stage, it is the termination stage. If the termination criteria is not met, the population is iteratively operated by the above 3 operators. And once again, they are all evaluated till we get the termination criteria satisfied. So this procedure is continued until the termination criteria are met. A number of termination criteria are used. Then one cycle of these operations and the subsequent evaluation procedure is known as a one generation. So in this way, a number of generations are used to get the final optimal result. The chromosomes are represented or encoded by different ways. First one is the binary encoding. In the binary encoding, it is the most common method, which consists of strings of bits 0 and 1. For example, a chromosome is 10110010. This is the one chromosome. In the permutation encoding, every chromosome is a string of numbers which represents the numbers in a proper sequence. Generally, this is the permutation encoding is very helpful in the traveling salesman problem. So we can write the chromosome A, that is, it will consist of the genes 1, 5, 3, 2, 6, 4, 7, 9, 8, depending upon the positions of the destinations the salesman has to reach there. In the value encoding, it is used for the complicated values, and when binary coding will be difficult. Each chromosome is a string of some values. We can have the chromosome A like 1.2332323 or 5.3243, like that. Now, apart from these 3 representations or encodings of the chromosomes, another types of encodings are octal encoding, hexadecimal encoding, or tree encoding. But among all these, the binary is the mostly adopted encoding method. What are the advantages and limitations of binary encoding when we are saying that it is mostly adopted? However, it is having certain advantages and certain limitations. Now, in advantages, we can say that it is the faster operations are done, and hence the execution of GA is also fast. Any optimization problem can be coded in the binary format. Limitations can be stated that it needs an effort to convert the variables into binary format, and the accuracy depends on the binary representation. So these are the limitations for the binary encoding. As compared to binary encoding, the real value encoding are having certain advantages. That it is most suitable for optimization in a continuous search space. It uses direct representations of design parameters. That is, there is no conversion of values into binary format is required. And comparatively, its accuracy is high. And when we discuss about the storage space required for the storing the digits, it will be definitely require less storage as compared to the binary encoding. So depending upon the nature of the problem, we will be able to think which type of encoding method can be adopted. Now the population size needs to be at least twice the number of variables for enough searches in the variable space. This is the minimum criteria for the population size. It should be having at least twice the number of variables. The randomly generated initial population forms the 0th generation. That is the very first generation, and it is nothing but the 0th generation. This is generated randomly. But the best population size depends on the encoding and on the size of encoded strings. Okay. Please let me know if I am having the internet connected. Okay. Now it is connected. Aditya sir, please let me know if
Yes,
I
sir.
have disconnection.
Yes, sir.
If I get disconnected, please let me know.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. As we discussed, that genetic algorithm has three main operators, and they will be helping us to search an optimal solution. They are the selection, crossover, and mutation. What is the selection? This is the very first operator to be applied on the population. And it is the process of choosing two parents from the population for crossing. For the reproduction purpose, which is done in the biology, we require two parents, and the same case is here. It is the process of choosing two parents. Now, the proper selection of parents is done by Darwinian principle of survival of the fittest. The selection in this case means extract of a subset of genes from an existing population. The initially randomly created chromosomes, that is in the 0th generation, they are selected from the population to cross over and create their offsprings. The chromosomes with the fitness value above the average fitness, they are considered to be fit to survive. As we are discussing about the Darwin's evolutionary theory, the best one should survive and create new offsprings. But who are the surviving chromosomes? They are the surviving chromosomes which have the fitness value above the average fitness. Okay, this is the basic criteria that we should understand. And every gene has a meaning which derives a kind of quality measurement which is called as the fitness function. Now, the higher the fitness function value, the better chance of that an individual will be selected. The, sorry. The selection pressure, which is frequently used for the selection of different parents from the earlier population, it is nothing but it is the degree to which the better individuals are favored. The higher the selection pressure, the more the better individuals are favored. The fitness function quantifies the optimality of a solution, that is nothing but the chromosome, so that a particular solution will be ranked against all the other solutions. Typically, there are two types of selection schemes. One is the proportionate based selection and other one is the ordinal based selection. In the proportionate based selection, it picks out the individuals which are based upon their fitness values relative to the fitness of the other individuals in the population. It means there is the comparison of the fitness values, and the better individuals which are having higher fitness values, they are selected for the further step of crossover. In ordinal based selection, it selects the individuals upon their ranks within the population. The proportionate based selection, they consist of many types, but mostly used are the roulette wheel selection type and tournament selection. While ordinal based selection consists of the rank selection, steady state selection. The roulette wheel selection, in this method, the parents are selected according to their fitness. For better chromosomes, the chances of getting selected are higher. And this type of selection is similar to using a roulette wheel, which is observed in a casino. And in this case, the fitness of an individual is represented as the proportionate slice of the wheel. You can see in this case, the chromosome 1, 2, 3, and 4, these 4 chromosomes, they are represented by the 4 slices of a roulette wheel. The wheel is then spun, and the slice underneath the pointer, when it stops, determines which individual becomes a parent. So that can be made clear using this diagram. Now in this case, a fixed point is chosen on the wheel circumference and the wheel is rotated. We have shown 6 number of chromosomes as the slices of a roulette wheel, and a fixed point is there. That point is used to determine which chromosome will be acting as a parent. The region of the wheel which comes in front of the fixed point is chosen as the parent. For the second parent, the same process is repeated. Okay, now it is clear that fitter the individual, it is having greater pi on the wheel, and therefore greater chance of landing in front of the fixed point when the wheel is rotated. Therefore, the probability of choosing an individual depends directly on its fitness. So this method is used for the selection of parents. In the roulette wheel selection or the proportionate selection, the individuals are assigned a probability of being selected based on their fitnesses. How this fitness value is determined? For individual chromosome, if Pi is the probability that the individual I will be selected, it will be given by Pi is equal to Fi divided by summation of Fi, where Fi is the fitness of individual I and summation Fi represents the sum of all the fitnesses of the individuals in the population. So using this method, the probability that the individual I will be getting selected. If we see this simple example where 4 number of chromosomes are having different fitness values, their selection probabilities are also mentioned by the. So here you can see one more diagram, but the numbers which are represented in the diagram, they are not the numbers which we are getting in the table. But for the representation purpose, this representation is used. The probability of selection of any individual is represented by the formula Fi divided by summation of Fi, and that is the summation of all these probabilities will be 1. For each individual or each chromosome, the probability of selection will be different, and they are represented as the slices on the roulette wheel. Now in second case, in tournament selection, several tournaments are played among the few individuals from the population. The individuals are chosen at random from the population, which these individuals which are uh, being played for the tournament purpose, they are chosen at random. The winner of each tournament is selected for the next generation. Okay, in this way, after a number of tournaments being played among the all the individuals, the final winner will be selected as a parent for the crossover purpose. In this way, the weak individuals are having a smaller chance to be selected if tournament size is large. You can see in this diagram that how the tournament selection is done. In this case, we select k number of individuals from the population at random, and after running the tournaments, the winners are selected as parents. Okay, in this way, the finally we can pick up the A chromosome as the best parent after a number of tournaments held among these individuals. If A is the winner, then it will be working as the parent. In the rank selection, it is having certain advantage over the roulette wheel selection. In rank selection, first the ranking of the population is done. Then every chromosome receives fitness from this ranking. The worst chromosome will have a fitness of 1. The second worst is having fitness of 2. And in the best, in this way, all the chromosomes will have different fitness values, and the best will have the fitness of n, where the number of chromosomes in the population are n. By this, all the chromosomes will have a chance to be selected. But what is done in this case? When the sorting of fitness values of individuals is done, or ranking is done, then the cumulative fitness value is calculated, and using these cumulative fitness values, once again the roulette wheel is created, and once again the same process is applied. In case of roulette wheel selection, the cumulative fitness value is not taken into consideration, but in rank selection, the cumulative fitness value is used to form the roulette wheel. And following the same process as it is done in the roulette wheel selection, the rank selection is done, but it is having a disadvantage that it will lead to a slower convergence. Now another important cross operators which are used in the genetic algorithm, they are crossover and mutation. Now, as it is known that selection itself alone cannot introduce any new individual into the population. That is, it cannot find new points in the search space. It is just the picking up of the chromosomes from the population. Now, these are generated by genetically inspired operators, which are nothing but the crossover and mutation. These two are playing the important role to change the values of chromosomes, and therefore they are very much essential for the for getting the optimal solution using genetic algorithm. Now, what is going to happen in the crossover? Crossover is nothing but it is the process of taking two parent solutions and producing from them children, and they are two in number. From two parents, parent 1 and parent 2, we will get two offsprings or two children, children 1 and children number 2. How this is done? Now let us consider the parent 1 is represented by 1, 0, 1, 1, 0. These genes are used, while in the parent 2, the genes which are used are 0, 1, 1, 0, 1. One randomly generated generation of crossover mask is applied there. If that crossover mask contains the digits 1, then the first gene from the parent 1 is selected. If the digit in the crossover mask is 0, then the gene from the parent number 2 is selected. So in this way, we will be able to get the genes of two offsprings, offspring 1 and offspring 2. So for this purpose, the random generation of crossover mask is very essential. The crossover can be either 1-point or 2-point crossover. In 1-point crossover, the selected pair of strings is cut at some random position and their segments are swapped to form new pairs of strings. But in case of 2-point schemes, there will be 2 breakpoints in the strings that are randomly chosen. Apart from these two, other types of crossovers are also there. They can be listed as a multi-point crossover or uniform crossover, half uniform crossover, shuffle crossover, or matrix crossover. Now at the breakpoints, the segments of the two strings are swapped to that new set of strings are formed. Let's consider for the 1-point crossover how it is done. If parent 1 and parent 2 are shown by the different genes, and a randomly generated crossover point is applied there. If let us say K is the crossover point, the crossover point K is applied. The crossover point K is decided using a random number, which is a random number generator, which is going to generate the integer in between 1 and L, capital L, where capital L is the length of the chromosome. A random number between these two values is generated, and using that value, the crossover point will be decided. So using this crossover point, the genes or the portion of the genes beyond the crossover point will be swapped. You can see in this particular representation from the parent 1, the crossover point, when it is the second point, then the 0, 1 from parent 1 will be same as they are in the parent. But the rest of the genes, they are selected from parent number 2. And it will give us the offspring number 1. Likewise, offspring number 2 is produced. In the 2-point crossover, the crossover points are K1 and K2. They are also randomly generated. In this case, the genes before the crossover point K1, they are in the offspring 1. You can see here in this particular offspring genes, these are the genes from parent 1. But gene number 3, 4, and 5, this particular portion is from parent number 2. And once again, the remaining part beyond the crossover point K2 will be from parent number 1. So in this way, this 2-point crossover is done. Same procedure is applied for generation of the offspring number 2. In case of uniform crossover, the bits are randomly copied from the first or from the second parent. In general, the probability of crossover being applied is taken between 0.6 to 0.9. Now the last operator, which is giving us a change in the chromosome value, is the mutation. It is the operator which is randomly flipping or altering one or more bits at randomly selected locations in a chromosome. Now the purpose of mutation in GAs are, first is to introduce diversity into the sampled population, and the second purpose is to prevent the GA from converging to local optima. If we are not applying any mutation in the population, then there are the chances that the solution will struck to a local level, local optimal level. So that is to be avoided, that is to be prevented, and for that reason mutation is applied. But if it occurs very often, if the mutation is done very often, the GAs will be changed to a random search. Therefore, the probability or rate of mutation will be kept very low as compared to the rate of the crossover. The rate of mutation is very low. Now, the probability or rate of the mutation determines how many chromosomes should be mutated in one generation, and it is usually very small. For example, 0.001, which is the meaning that 1 in 1000. Okay, this is the very small value. Now, how it is done? In mutation, it injects a new genetic character into the chromosome by changing at random a bit in a string depending on the probability of mutation. Let us consider the original example. Original chromosome is having the genes 10110, and after allowing the mutation to occur, the mutated chromosome will be 10010. Means by applying the mutation rate, the proper mutation rate applying, if this chromosome is going to change its structure, then the gene 1 from original chromosome will be flipped to gene 0, and it will give us a different value. Okay, so in this mutation process, the bits are changed from either 1 to 0 or 0 to 1 at a randomly chosen position of randomly selected string. We cannot have any control where it is to be applied. Now, two mutation types are discussed over here. Apart from other mutation types, these two are very much applied. First one is the bit conversion, which we discussed right now. In this, the bits are inverted. Okay, and in permutation encoding, the bits which are there, they are added a small number, and it is applicable for real value encoding. You can see here the value 2.86, which was there in the chromosome or in the population earlier to the mutation, it has been changed to 2.73, and that is once again a random process. The last step in the genetic algorithm application is the termination or convergence. The convergence is the progression towards the increasing uniformity. Now, a gene is said to have converged when 95% of the population share the same value, and the population is said to have converged when all of the genes have converged. A number of types of convergence are there. First one is the fixing the number of generations depending on string length, computing speed, and desired accuracy. We can fix the number of generations so that the genetic algorithm procedure will stop over there, and we will get a final optimal solution at the end of that number of generation, completion of that number of generations. Let us consider 500 is the fixed number of generations. Then after the completion of 500th generation, we will get the solution. In second type, specified number of generations which are giving same value of maximum fitness, that will be considered as the termination criteria. Third criteria is the specified difference in the successive values of average fitness or specified number. Okay, this will give us the specified difference criteria. In the successive optimal values, if we are having certain percentage change in the function value, then we will be able to stop the genetic algorithm procedure. Then in the fourth type, the fixed number of generations together with the specified number of generations giving same value of maximum fitness. So a number of types of termination criteria are available depending upon our problem, their encoding and the accuracy required. At the same time, the time requirement for the execution of the genetic algorithm, we can use any of these termination criteria. Now, in this complete process, one uh, fear is there that we will be losing the best chromosomes in each generation if we are going in the traditional way of the genetic algorithm by application of selection, crossover, and mutation. But this fear can be minimized by applying the elitism. In elitism, the best chromosomes or a few best chromosomes are copied first from previous generation to new generation, or from previous population to new population. But the rest things are done in a classical way. What is this elitism? How it will be helpful for us? Now it is going to maintain the best chromosomes in each and every generation after the first generation in which we are getting the best chromosomes. They are carried in the next generation. But in the next generation, if more than this particular set of chromosomes they are getting best, then these are discarded and the best one will be maintained throughout for the next few generations or till the end of the generations. This is the elitism. The elitism can very rapidly increase the performance of GA because it is preventing the losing of the best found solution. And it is defined in percentage or in number. Okay, after studying all these things regarding the nature and behavior and the application of genetic algorithm, we will be discussing about the properties. What are the properties of GA? Generally they are good at finding acceptable solutions to a problem reasonably quickly. It is free from mathematical derivatives. In this case, no gradient information is required. It is fairly simple to develop. It gives a good set of answers as opposed to a single optimal answer. Able to get the best answer, the topmost answer, that is the first best solution, the second best solution if the quality is considered, the third best solution. In this way, the best solutions in sequence 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that we will be able to get, and as per our requirement we can select among these best solutions which will be the best one for our purpose. It makes no assumptions about the problem space and it can be hybridized with the conventional optimization methods. We can hybridize this genetic algorithm with the linear programming or dynamic programming or any other conventional optimization methods. In general, what are the recommendations? What should be the population size? What should be the uh, rate of crossover or mutation? In general, it is observed that very big population size usually does not improve the performance of GA. So it is in the meaning of speed of finding the solution. But the good population size can be about 20 to 30 chromosomes. However, sometimes sizes up to 550 to 100 are reported as the best. Although this is some guideline to go for the population size 50 to 100. However, the problem specific conditions will help us to understand what should be our population size. The proper population size can be higher than these values also. Now, some researchers also show that best population size depends on encoding, on size of encoded string. Okay, and another point regarding encoding is it depends on the problem and also on the size of the instance of the problem. Which encoding type should be selected? This is the main concern point when we are to start with the genetic algorithm application. So in that case, it is nothing but it depends on the problem. Then the crossover rate. Crossover rate is generally, it should be as high as possible. In general, it is about 85 to 80 to 95%, which is very good crossover rate. However, some results show that for some problems, crossover rates of about 60%, that is 0.6, it is very sufficient. In mutation rate, the mutation rate should be very low as possible. The best rates for mutation are reported about 0.5% to 1%. Okay, after discussing all these things about the genetic algorithm and its basics, how it is to be applied for a specific purpose, a case study is considered here for the application of GA for Urmodi reservoir release optimization. This is the application of GA for the reservoir operation condition or reservoir operation studies. For this purpose, we have taken a case of Urmodi reservoir system, which is in the Krishna river basin and located in Maharashtra. The Urmodi reservoir system is in the district of Satara in Maharashtra. It is an earthen type of dam, and it is having the capacities. Gross capacity is 282.14 million cubic meter. The active storage capacity is 273.27 million cubic meter, while the dead storage capacity is 8.86 million cubic meter. This dam is specifically used for irrigation purpose. So for the study purpose, we have taken the data of monthly inflows into Urmodi reservoir, and this data is for about 33 years, starting from 1975 up to 2007. This data is used for the model formulation. This diagram or this graph will show the representation of monthly inflow into Urmodi reservoir for the period of 33 years, that is about 396 months. This graph will show the average monthly inflows and monthly irrigation water demand at the Urmodi reservoir system. So the complete model, which is taking into consideration all the monthly inflows and all the monthly storage values, so that is used to formulate the model. Complete yield model is formulated, and this is solved using genetic algorithm. So GA is applicable for this particular complete yield model. In this case, the optimization is done to maximize the annual firm reservoir yield, which is having the reliability P. Okay, for the irrigation purpose, we generally prefer 75% reliability, and that is used here. So the maximization of OYFP, this is the optimization problem. For this, the constant equations which we are going to apply, the very first and the basic constant equation is the continuity constant of the reservoir. It will give us the storage continuity from 1 month of 1 year to the next month of the same year or the next year. So for all J and T values, where T is nothing but number of months starting from 1 to 12, and J are the number of years 1 to 33. So for all these durations, these the set of constant equations are formulated. Now in this case, SJT minus 1 will give us the initial storage in the beginning of the month T in year J. The inflow in the period T of the year J is added in this initial storage. Then the losses from this reservoir are the KT into OYFP, where KT is nothing but the predefined fraction of annual reservoir yield for the within year period. So that is applied here in the product form with the annual firm reservoir yield, and evaporation loss in period T in year J, it is also uh, decreased. Then the surplus from the reservoir during month T in year J, it is also taken, that is SPJT. And when we do all these operations, we will get the final storage in the month T in year J. The second constant equation which is used is the active storage volume capacity. It means that the storage in any month in any year, it should be less than or equal to the total active storage capacity of the reservoir. Now, for the computation or estimation of the evaporation losses, the non-linear relationship between the storage capacity and the surface area is considered. And using this, uh, regression equation is formulated, and this equation is used to calculate the evaporation losses in the month T in year J. Then the proportioning of yield in within year periods, it is given by OYTFP. This is the within year yield, which is nothing but the fraction of the annual yield. That is, fraction is given by KT. And the reservoir overflow constraint, the overflow situation is handled by this particular constant equation. That is, SPJT is equal to SJT minus YA. If the storage in any month in any year goes above the active storage capacity of the reservoir, then that will be given out as the overflow or the spillover. But if it is less than the active storage capacity, then there will be no spillover. The flowchart which is used for the solution or solving this complete yield model using genetic algorithm can be viewed here. Now this model is solved using the genetic algorithm application. This is for 33 years inflow data is used, and the binary coding is applied there. Now to start with the searching of the genetic parameters or the operators, we have started with the population size of 50 chromosomes, the crossover probability of 0.6, mutation probability of 0.001, and the number of generations equal to 30. After a study of a number of trials, we arrived at these initial search levels. However, the sensitivity analysis is done to these parameters. After the sensitivity analysis, we will be able to find out the optimum annual reservoir yield. In the first sensitivity analysis, where we have varied the population size of the genetic algorithm, here we have started with the population of 50, but with an increment of 10, we determined the annual yield. Now, keeping all other crossover probability, mutation probability, and number of generations constant, we varied only the population size in every run. And after a particular set of runs, we determined that after the population size of 400, we will be getting near about a constant annual yield of about 187.36. Therefore, we decided that the optimum population size can be kept as 400 only. Now, in the next sensitivity analysis, we gone for the sensitivity of probability of crossover. Was optimum value size. So considering the population size equal to 400, the probability of crossover, which has been started from 0.6 and with an increment of 0.02, we determined the yield values in every run. But it was observed that at the probability of crossover equal to 0.74, the yield value was optimum. Beyond this probability of crossover value, the yield decreased. Therefore, we finalized this crossover probability value of 0.74 as the optimal value. Now, in third sensitivity analysis, we kept the population size equal to 400 and probability of crossover equal to 0.74, and now the mutation probability has been changed. The mutation probability started with 0.001. With an increment of 0.001, we reached up to a value, optimal value of mutation probability equal to 0.008, at which we got the optimum yield value equal to 188.84 million cubic meter. Beyond this mutation probability value, the yield value was reduced. Therefore, in these three trials, we obtained the optimal values of population size, crossover probability, and mutation probability. Now, these three optimal values are maintained, and now the last is the number of generations sensitivity analysis. The number of generations which were started, they were started from 30 only, and in the increment which was given was 5. So in every new run, the 5 was the increment to the number of generations. Now, when we applied the genetic operators and the optimal values of these population and crossover probability and mutation probability values, the number of generations when varied, it was observed that at the number of generation equal to 275, the value of annual yield, which was about 189.41 MCM, that was maintained further. That was not having very vast difference beyond the number of generation equal to 275. Therefore, finally we decided that it should be the optimal value of number of generations. Now, using all these things and all these operations, some results regarding the monthly values of storage, monthly value of spill, and monthly values of evaporation losses, they are determined. Now, this is the table showing only for 1 year, the 12-month readings. So this is the sample result. But we obtained for all the 396 months the values for storage, spill, and evaporation losses. So after completing all these procedures for this complete case study, we found out that the number of constant equations which were used here were about 1188, which consist of 396 storage continuity equations, 396 maximum storage capacity constant equations, and 396 evaporation loss constant equations. The optimum parameter values for GA, they were observed that population equal to 400, crossover probability equal to 0.74, mutation probability equal to 0.008, and number of generations equal to 275. With this complete optimum set of parameter values and application of the GA to all the constant equations, the optimum yield which was obtained equal to 189.41 million cubic meter. So this was the application of genetic algorithm, and for this purpose a number of references were used, but some of them which can be listed here, they are shown in this slide. One good source of genetic algorithm coding can be obtained from IIT Kanpur website. which is giving us the uh, path for Kanpur Genetic Algorithms Laboratory, Kangam. So that will be very helpful for the beginners. Thank you.
Okay, sir. If participants have any question, they can ask. Sir, same can be done with ANN?
Sorry?
Can, sir?
Yes, sir?
Same can be done with ANN? Can we compare ANN and GA result?
Yes, sir. Definitely we can compare.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Any other question from participants?
Yes, sir. Hello, sir.
Rajmal, sir, please ask.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Parvikar, sir, is the study of or knowledge of coding is necessary, or any other graphical user interface is available for using the GA?
Yes, sir. Definitely. Python and MATLAB, they are having a very good set of genetic algorithm libraries. So for that purpose, very small quantity of programming will be required, but a very good graphical user interface is available there.
Okay, okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Any other question from participants? So I think no question from participant. So thank you, sir. The lecture was very informative. We are grateful for the time and effort you took to share your work. Thanks for accepting our invitation. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, all of you.
We have 5-minute break, so be tuned with us. So we'll start a valedictory function within 5 minutes. After that, we have test. Okay. So request to participant, be tuned with us.